Hi everyone, in this video I will demonstrate the laboratory steps after the trying clinical stage for the partial or semi-complete dentures made of acrylic resin. Note there is nothing in the literature called the post-try-in laboratory steps, but this is something that is done routinely after the try-in stage and before processing of the denture, so I will call it post-try-in stage. Here I have a patient with class 3 mode 3 clinical classification, 5 teeth in the upper arch, with semi-complete edentulous jaw in the lower, because he only has one canine. I have a mean value articulator with the cast attached to it. You can see it very well here. The most important thing is to wear an infection control kit, medical gloves, face mask. I am wearing one. In addition, all the instruments have been sterilized. First of all, I will block the undercut marked with wax because we are bearing with acrylic denture. All the wax will turn into heat cure acrylic, and we don't want acrylic in the undercut area, especially unfavorable undercuts. Unlike chrome cobalt dentures, where the undercuts are blocked with wax to make refractory casts. If you block the undercut with plaster in the beginning, you don't need to do these steps. But here I block the undercut with wax, so I have to remove the wax and replace it with a plaster. This includes the teeth or the supporting tissues or the soft tissue undercuts. I am using the wax knife to remove the undercuts area. I'm not using now the Dacron. You can see this patient has a deep undercut here. So we need to block it. This is the maxillary tuberosity area. I will now do the surveying step. I will do it manually without surveying. Here I have a pencil lid and I will survey each tooth. I have marked the molar here. I will now do premolar and the other teeth. I mark the lower jaw also. Now I will block the soft tissue undercuts. In the lower jaw you can see there are no soft tissue undercuts. So I will go ahead and move to the next step. I have here some plaster of Paris. I will mix it with a little bit of water. We need the plaster to be a creamy consistency, so we can use it to block the undercuts. I will close the undercut here. Sometimes you might need to use your finger, but the majority of the time I'm using the lacron. I have blocked all the undercuts in the upper arch. You can see there might be some undercuts here. You can also use the lacron head as a surveying tip. The plaster has set, so we need new plaster to block the undercuts. Now we will do the wire bending for the clasps. We will make the C clasp or circumferential clasp. We use the 0.8 or 0.7 gauge hard stainless steel wire. We need this much, about 3 centimeters for one clasp. We use the cutter. I'm using this technique where I hold one end of the wire with my thumb and index, and the rest of the finger hold and the palm will hold the other end, so it won't shoot away and hurt the nearby people. Now I will use the angle player where it has the triangle and the circle heads, or the pyramid and the cone heads. I will hold the clasp from here and straighten it to make it straight. Now I'll make a C shape or a U shape. Now I will check it on the cast to make sure it fits. It looks like I need more bending of the clasp in the tooth undercut area. can see that the clasp is sitting on the tooth exactly. Now I will use the pen to mark an area to fold it towards the palette. I have completed 2 molars. I will need a third clasp on the premolar from the mesial to the distal, not from the distal to the mesial, because we need to increase the resistance arm to increase the stability. For maximum stability, we might need to add a clasp on the lateral, but as you know that metal clasps on the anterior teeth are not aesthetically acceptable. I will make the last clasp. The length of the wire for premolar clasp is approximately 2 of my bone fingers, or the phalanges as it's called. You can see the last clasp has been completed and all the clasp sits well. The next step is the lower, where we have one canine. We have reached the part where we need the engine. I have put a sleeve on the handpiece, excluding the opening where the bear extends to. As I always emphasized on the infection control, many technicians won't do this step. I used the round carbide bear of prosthesis handpiece. I will outline with a pen the virtual position of the clasp on the acrylic and remove some acrylic over that area so the clasp can fit in that area, and later on with covered with wax or acrylic, but I prefer wax. We remove the acrylic teeth and the wax in the way.
And they also to stick.
You can see that the clasp here is not placed correctly or does not fit well, so we need to remove more acrylic from this area. And after finishing the locations of the clasps within the acrylic base, this is the final shape that we want. I will use a piece of wax using a technique I called it wax pen technique. We roll a wax piece into a pen or finger shape, just like that, by using ethylene torch or whatever flame source you use to melt the piece of wax above the cast, just like that. We immerse the clasp with wax, and with wax knife we adjust the area to make it smooth. You can see the clasp is now embedded. We return the removed acrylic tooth into its position. I have embedded one clasp and I will do the rest. At this stage, when I will try to remove the trial denture, we can feel some resistance due to the effect of the clasp and wax. You will always find the clasps are loose and not completely fits, unlike when you made the clasp. The reason is that the process of removing the acrylic from the base will always hinder the complete placement of the clasp. You can adjust the clasp later in the patient mouth with the pliers to fix this issue. You should check the occlusion with the articulator at this stage, all the teeth in correct contact. The upper arch has been completed now. We will do the lower arch now. And now you can see our completion.